Go ahead.
Oh, hey, everyone.
Yes.
I'm Nikki. I'm Dr. Scott's wife, and we are introducing Dr. Jess tonight. But I guess a little background, a quick background. We weren't necessarily looking for a new health avenue, but through my circles and mutual friends, I met Dr. Jess, and it was like an instant alignment with how we approach health and think about health. So that was something that was interesting to me. And then I met a few other chiropractors that were talking about LifeVantage. So I started taking product. I'd been on for about a year now. The first few months, not a bunch of noticeable change, but the longer I stayed on, most significantly, I've noticed my hair growth. So I suffered with hair loss for the last 10 plus years. I'm 41 years old, and um, I saw visible change, which I'd never seen that with anything I'd ever touched out of a bottle or a pill or a potion. I've tried it all. So that was huge for me. And then I started noticing uh, just my stress overall, my mood overall, my sleep, deeper sleep, not waking up 5 times in the night to go pee. That's big for a lot of women. So these things that were happening inside my body, and I thought, okay, uh, this is something big, and we need to get on board. So I talked to this guy, and I said, I want you to take a look at this, and kind of connected us three together. And now I've just been leaning into Jess and asking her questions, when things come up, and learning about the science. And so we like to carve out some time away from the office just so we can, because it is important to us, and we that's why we're sharing it, because uh, Dr. Jess will explain why these products are set apart in a way and very powerful tonight. And please ask questions, get in the chat if something stands out to you. And with that, do you have anything?
Yeah, I'll just say my name is Dr. Walt Scott. I've been a chiropractor for coming on 21 years now, and you got me sidetracked just from the get-go there, talking about the hair loss. And I mean, frankly, we've spent a little bit of dollars with different shampoos and potions and lotions and I mean different infrared hats and things like that. And yeah, this is the first thing that I've seen work for you. That was kind of my side note with that. But yeah, 21 years of practice. I guess the one thing that, as I think of starting here, um, I always feel like when I have a person in front of me that's a patient, there's the perhaps a simple thing they're looking for in terms of pain relief, but then there's also their overall health, right? And I think they're a little bit more interrelated than people realize. We live in a fast-paced world. We want the quick fix, but my ultimate goal is always to try to move away from just the quick fix, but to a more understanding, a robust understanding of trying to optimize what it means to be healthy, right? And I always look at each patient and I think of them as each person has their own mosaic or their own puzzle to figure out in terms of what it takes to express health fully. And I feel like with partnering with LifeVantage, there's a few things that you can say that probably all of us are missing on some level in terms of things that if we added them, it would move us towards that better state of health. And I feel like LifeVantage has been one of those things that, with some simple introductions to some of these things that Dr. Jess is going to talk about, they do just that. They move you towards a greater state of health. And so that's why it was really kind of foundational for me in terms of just getting started and introducing it to the practice.
Take it away.
Awesome.
There.
Okay, so I am Dr. Jess. I'm a chiropractor as well. I've been practicing for 18 years in the middle of nowhere, South Dakota. I am married to Matt, who's a farmer, and we have 5 kids from 19 to 7. And I've been on the scientific advisory board for the past 2 years. with this company. And as I was just saying to Dr. Scott and Nikki, I just took a picture with my banker's box that had all of the studies that were available on our flagship product at the time when I originally partnered with the company and the patents. And so, just to kind of preface that, to get a patent, you have to prove that your product does something that other things don't, or that taking the components wouldn't give the same outcome. You have to prove it does something really special and unique. So to have 7 patents on something is really, really rare. And to have enough studies on a final product, not just of a kind of product, like there's a ton of studies, for example, on fish oil, but specific studies on a certain brand of fish oil or a certain end patented product is a lot more rare. So that was kind of why I said yes, why I started was the science. And I'm here for so much more than the science, and really, really grateful to get to do this with you all tonight. So why does life get out of balance? We have everyday occurrences, you guys. It's life in general, as Dr. Scott was just explaining. We have, in chiropractic, we like to talk about the 3 T's: toxins, traumas, and thoughts. And that's just a really simple way of talking about all of these things: diet, stress, medications, aging, lack of sleep, exercise, too much, too little, your environment, your air, literally everything around you is either shifting you more toward health or away from health. And we have this gradual shifting in how the body is responding to that. So biologically, it feels like the body is doing the same work it always has. It's just less efficient, and it's a slower recovery. So we see things showing up in our brain, in our cognition. We're a little bit slower with our processing. We have a little less clarity, a little more brain fog. With our muscles and movement, we see slower recovery. We see stiffness, loss of muscle mass. With our energy and metabolism, it's lower energy, it's hormonal shifts. With our cells and repair systems, we just see a reduced cellular renewal. All of this starts happening on the inside, on the cellular level. And that is what I think really sets LifeVantage apart as the activation company, is that we take something to make something, and we really get back to the health of the cells. And I like to think activation and alignment work hand in hand. Chiropractic is really, really a beautiful gift. And we also still require doing other things for ourselves than just our chiropractic care. So to me, this is like how we support ourselves at home. Like the best self-care I can give you is to have you take care of your cells. So with activation, we take it to make it. We empower our bodies to make the things it once did. Things like antioxidants, proteins, peptides, enzymes. Your body once made all the things you're seeing in the buzz world of peptides. It makes them in your gut. All of the chemicals in your brain that allow your brain to function, they are produced in your gut. God created you perfectly. And then we are bombarded constantly with those 3 T's. And we have to be able to figure out what to do with that, to catch our bodies back up to what we are exposing them to. And then when you share LifeVantage, you're also activating the opportunity with the ability to earn supplemental income. So where did we start? What filled that banker's box were studies on this product, the flagship product. So in 2003, we had one peer-reviewed published study that showed we could lower oxidative stress on average 40% in 30 days, a claim that had yet to be heard of and or proven. And so in 2005, ABC did a primetime investigation on us to debunk that claim. But instead of debunking it, John Quinones, the host of that show, had a 45% reduction in just 2 weeks on the product. Immediately following that airing, major universities and institutions started doing their own self-funded research on our product. I was just re-looking at these patents that are on this product. We have 7 US patents, and they talk not only about the reduction of oxidative stress, but also the reduction of inflammation. And I have those patent numbers. Whoever invited you here can share them with you too, so that you can check those out as well. So, what is activation? It is literally taking God's pharmacy to turn on God's pharmacy inside our cells. Protandim Nrf2 Synergizer is 5 plant-based ingredients combined in the exact ratio to get an exponential effect. When we take antioxidants, things like fruits and vegetables, superfruits, super greens, vitamin C, vitamin E, all of those, we neutralize free radicals at a ratio of 1:1. But when we take 1 tablet of Protandim Nrf2, it turns on the cellular signals inside of our cells, in our DNA, so that our body starts producing antioxidants at the rate of 1 million every single second. So would you rather do the 1:1 or the 1 million to 1? Obviously, we really want that 1 million to 1 power in there. And this is, we still want you eating those fruits and vegetables. You have to have these things for so many, there are so many benefits beyond just antioxidants. But when it comes to the antioxidant power, you want activation as your baseline, your your tool in your tool belt that can do so much more in a short period of time. Oxidation, oxidative stress, it's literally aging at the cellular level. It's like rusting of your cells from the inside out. And we need those antioxidants to fight back. This is like the defense you have inside your cells. It's backed by over 30 peer-reviewed studies, like I mentioned, and 7 US patents. When you look at the components taken separately versus them together, it's 18 times more effective to take Protandim in its synergistic blend than it is to take the components separately. These are some of the journals in which it was featured. I like to mention just a few of these that stuck out to me. When this was featured in the journal Circulation of the American Heart Association, it was the only natural product ever featured in that journal at that point. Even fish oil did not make the cut. Washington State University said Nrf2 activation may well become the most therapeutic and preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine. There's another, I mean, I could literally talk to you about every study that is on this page, and there's more than this, you guys. There's more than this. Just trust me when you dive into this and see what's going on. Nrf2 activation or oxidative stress will be at the root, and Nrf2 activation will be a solution for that. So, I just said this one. It may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine. It's a master regulator of detoxification, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and other cytoprotective mechanisms, protection of our cells. This is one of my absolute favorites, and one for a reason that every chiropractor should take a look at this product. And more than that, anyone with a brain or a spinal cord. Hello, that is you. Because this journal, this is featured in the Multiple Sclerosis Journal and published by a drug company called Biogen on their drug called Tecfidera. They studied their drug in comparison to Protandim, and when they finished, they found, excuse me, Nrf2 activators are able to protect oligodendrocytes from oxidative stress. And they found that interestingly, Protandim, a dietary supplement consisting of herbal ingredients, was the most potent inducer and therefore may be the most therapeutic strategy. Wow. Have you ever seen a drug company study their drug in comparison to a natural product and then have the guts to share that the natural product was the best, right? This is incredible, you guys. Our brain and spinal cord they are more sensitive to oxidative stress than any other cells in your body. That's why God made such a protective barrier around them. That's why you have a brain and a spinal cord and all this beautiful setup. The way that God created us was amazing. Oregon State University says when it finds a problem, NRF2 essentially goes back to the nucleus and rings the alarm bell, where it can turn on genes that are responsible for cell repair, detoxification of carcinogens and lipid metabolism, antioxidant protection, and other other actions. In their report, the scientists called it a longevity assurance factor. I mean, wow. So this brings me to LifeVantage didn't just stop there. But if all you did was see and learn about Protandim Nrf2, I would be more than happy. I could talk for hours on just that product alone. And I know you all are busy, and I am too, right? But I am so glad and thankful that you came here tonight to listen to this. And I hope before you're done, there's something in your mind that is reminded that somebody invited me here for a reason. And I'm so glad I came. Like, I'm so thankful they thought of me. And this stack is one of my absolute favorite things. When we first launched this liquid collagen in 2022, I was really disappointed. I'm going to be totally honest. I thought, wow, every company has a collagen. And I had recommended various collagens from multiple different companies and, occasionally see a little bit of change in hair, skin, or nails, but nothing really that dramatic, nothing like life-changing. And then I should know better, because when LifeVantage creates a product, they don't just create a supplement. They create something that is an activator. So instead of just taking collagen, we're able to turn on the collagen factories inside our cells. We're able to switch the genes that slow down the collagen degradation. And we do that collagen supplementing where we're pouring in some collagen, but that collagen is in a form our body can actually absorb and utilize. So we call this the Healthy Glow Stack. This is our Protandim Nrf2 with our liquid collagen. And I affectionately like to call this the chiropractor's BFF, the Healthy Glow. There are 10 collagen peptides in here. All of those collagen peptides perform different functions. Their collagen is the most abundant protein in our body, and the one that we typically see in collagen supplements, there's usually 1 to 3 types. Ours has 10, and I want to tell you each of those 10 has a very specific purpose. So you could literally look these up and see which peptides they are, which would be relevant to what you may be having going on. But the one in here that really stuck out to me was type 18. And Duke University did a study on type 18 collagen. This was not on our product. This was just on type 18 collagen. And they showed that if type 18 collagen was in the extracellular matrix of a cell, that a cancer cell could not divide or multiply. Wow. So to have LifeVantage have the forethought to put this specific collagen peptide in their collagen was significant to me. This combo also, another reason why I call it the chiropractor's BFF, obviously those 10 collagen peptides, turning on the collagen factories inside our cells, but cutting the stress perpetuation cycle in a third. How many people do you know that are stressed out? I mean, come on, raise your hand, right? Like 75% of people claim they're stressed out, and 75 to 90% of them are stressed out about finances, you guys. This is a big deal to cut somebody's stress in a third by taking 1 tablet and drinking 1 delicious shot of collagen. You can double your collagen density in just 8 weeks. So what do chiropractors care about, right? Of course, the brain and the spinal cord, but we've got the highest concentration of collagen in our bones, tendons, discs, joint cartilage, our skin, our bones, our tendons, our ligaments, our fascia, our discs, peripheral nerves, our joints, our articular cartilage, blood vessels, muscles, organs. Y'all, you see how this is more than just important to your chiropractor? I mean, this is all of the things that create you. But the results of the Nrf2 collagen combination is regulating the components of the master switch inside your cell, the NF-kappa B. We also decrease signaling decrease the signaling that perpetuates the stress response. Look at these interleukins, these specialized cells. This study that we have on our Nrf2 and collagen combo just got us a patent on this combo too, you guys. Incredible. It is amazing. And it talks about the effects of this stack in the innate inflammatory pathways. This is such a big deal. You guys, we all want less inflammation in our bodies. We want less cell damage. We want our cells to be able to heal faster, recover faster, hold your adjustments longer, have more flexibility, have more movement. And those things are all great. But here's the deal. We've got these incredible before and after outside ones. But what did I notice the most with this combo? Well, in myself, I lost 5 pounds in the first week, doing nothing else different. 5 pounds. And not just me, so many patients had changes in their weight with this product. The first testimonies I got back in the first month of people taking this had to do with performance in the bedroom, in themselves or their spouses, for married couples that had been married for years. I had women that were no longer getting up in the night to go pee, or were going from 3 to 5 times a night to 1 to 2. So there are things way beyond your movement. But what if that movement was the thing, right? Like my friend Kim, she got her zippity doodah back after losing her mom about a year before that. She finally felt like herself again inside her body. So, if it's mental health, if it's physical health, if it's weight, if it's metabolism, if it's movement, and gosh darn it, I mean, I don't think this one's probably sad that her neck looks like that much different in 7 days, right? She's probably okay with that. This is my friend Maria and my friend Nancy. Their thighs changed dramatically, and they were really excited about that. Holly and Kat, again, outside changes, but again, chiropractor, here we go. This is one of my colleagues, and he's a chiropractor as well. He had a terrible spine injury in his teens, which is what drove him inspired him to pursue chiropractic as a career. And he has multiple practices and multiple associate doctors. And he was getting adjusted 4 to 5 times a week before he added this liquid collagen to his tri-synergizer is what we call it, but it was Protandim NRF2 plus Protandim NRF1 and Protandim NAD. And so he added this collagen to it. And within 6 months, he lost 50 pounds doing nothing else different. He went from feeling like he needed an adjustment, well, really every day, but he would get one 4 to 5 times a week. He went from doing that 4 to 5 times to he went almost a month without even realizing he hadn't had an adjustment. And he was like, whoa, that's never happened in my entire life. And his associate doctor was like, hey, maybe we should re-x-ray you. Like there's got to be something going on. And they re-x-rayed, and you can see a visibly increase in his disc height. And we've seen this in other people as well. So exciting stuff. So we need to get to the root of issues though, and we need to look at what we can do to create healthy cells, because when we create healthy cells, we have healthy tissues, healthy organs, healthy systems, and then healthy humans. And even when we think about weight, you guys, every time we've added products, there's been changes for people when it comes to weight. And when I first started, we had, I had changes in my weight, adding Protandim in, right? And then adding that liquid collagen again. But getting back to the cells, we're just looking for tools. We're looking for pathways we can turn back on that were on before we had those three T's overwhelming our system. And the industry rewards innovation. Some of the biggest health breakthroughs have come through direct sales. There's cutting edge innovation here with Protandim NRF2. And did you know we were a small biogen company? This product was on the shelf at places like GNC and Walgreens when it first came out with that study and with the ABC primetime investigation, and no one was buying it. Not one person, because no one even knew what this was. They hired a marketing genius, and the guy said, well, this is a product that has a story that needs to be told. This needs to be in direct sales. And the founder and the formulator at the time, who was actually a Nobel Prize winner, said, absolutely not. There is a negative stigma to network marketing, to direct sales, and I won't have that on my product. So they did a 6-week trial, and direct sales won by 600%. The company has been in direct sales since then because we have a product with a story that has to be told. We just require more voices willing to share the story. But after the cutting edge innovation of NRF2, gut health is the next frontier. This is where the research is going. We know the gut has a profound impact on the entire body, right? We know it's 70, 90% of our immune system. It's where our brain health, our mental health comes from. It's reflected on our skin. If you have something going on in your skin, there's an issue in your gut. There are so many links back to the gut. And yet the gut is the only system we don't have any parameters for what makes it healthy. We have parameters that make it unhealthy. An unhealthy gut will provide constipation, diarrhea, bloating, gas, nausea, reflux. What else makes it not good? You're not digesting and absorbing your food. You're getting sick all of the time. You're depressed. You're anxious. You have all these things going on, but we don't have any parameters that say, what is the balance of this certain good bacteria or this certain bad bacteria? How many of these organisms do we need? So the research in the gut started in the works of probiotics. And then it went to prebiotics, and then it went to postbiotics and digestive enzymes. And honestly, it's as confusing as it gets. People have 27 products for their gut, and they still don't know if they're doing the right thing. Anybody attest to that? Anybody tried all the things for their guts and wondered, like, what the heck am I even doing, right? Well, that's where LifeVantage has come up with another really, really impressive solution. So we have our defense with our Protandim NRF2, same thing. We take it and the body starts making those antioxidants. And then we have our P84. So P84 is technically 2 packets, and you take the 2 packets and you pour them into 1 glass with water and you drink it. It looks like swamp water. I know what you're thinking. It looks swampy, but it has the 84 stands for 84 ingredients designed to help restore the cells and the system communications in your gut. It has polyphenols from superfruits and super greens. It has probiotics, prebiotics, postbiotics, digestive enzymes. It is literally like 10 gut products in one place. And when you take it, you start making key gut peptides to regulate, repair, and restore your gut. So this is what we call the healthy edge. You have offense and defense. When I'm talking to someone and I want to help them get started with these products, I'm looking at the healthy glow with the Protandim and NRF2, or the healthy edge with the Protandim and the P84, or all 3 is the best option. And then the 4th thing we're going to talk about tonight is our brain activator, Axio. This is absolutely never miss a day product for me too, along with those that I just described. So this, you take it and you start making brain messengers and energy. This is like throwing the dart at the dartboard and hitting the bullseye every single time. Instead of having squirrel brain where your thoughts are going all over the place, you can literally just hit it and hit it and hit it. We have some brain map imaging from a neuropsychologist showing this. He used it in his patients to see what would happen. But activating mental clarity and focus, powering your brain and body, and supporting positive mood. This is my friend's daughter. And after just 15, she drank Axio and 15 minutes redid the spelling test. And look at how much dramatically different it looks in such a short period of time. So we can activate cells, system, brain, gut, tissues, immune system, mitochondria, skin, hair, so many things. And I like to show this slide only to tell you that whatever you have going on, we have other products that could be a solution for you as well. So whoever invited you here can show you what's going on. I also like to show you this page because maybe you're like me, and when you shop on Amazon and you purchase something, and then Amazon says, well, based on your shopping, maybe you would like this, and they suggest something and they're right, right? Like anybody else do that? That's me. Well, they are right, and I do like it. And that's literally what we have here is maybe you come in with something and then you discover we have other products that you really love too, and you can get them all in the same place. So just know we have other products to support other systems in the body, depending on what's going on. And everybody is different. You are unique like a fingerprint. You are your own masterpiece, as Dr. Scott said at the beginning, your own mosaic. Your biggest puzzle is yourself. And each piece that you work to improve in your body will bring you that much closer to health. So as you start, be on the lookout for positive results. Look for those subtle changes in how you're sleeping, in your energy level, how you're moving, how you're recovering. Those are really big things. We're not just looking to live forever. We're looking to live with the quality of life for as long as we live. And this is what is so different than just like, I want to be old, right? How do you want to age? And so LifeVantage is the perfect vehicle. This is another reason why I'm still here. One is because I get to do life and business with people I enjoy being around, like Dr. Scott and Nikki, and I get to share products and get paid by sharing them. I actually didn't even realize there was really a business with this when I started. I'm going to be totally transparent. And people always think that's silly, but when I went to somebody's house for a Tupperware party or a Pampered Chef party, I really just thought my friend had a party. Like, I'll be nice, I'll go, I'll buy something off the magazine to support my friend, and I'm out of there. Like, I didn't need another Tupperware, right? I didn't know that was network marketing, but this is different, you guys. These are products that are actually helping people from a cellular level. All the products come in a 30-day supply, so you need them every month. Our products are, we have a 84% retention rate, and 70% of our sales are on subscription. So when somebody buys it, they keep buying it. Whenever I have somebody go off of products, I had a customer like 4 levels down into my organization. She had went off the products and she reached out to me for help. And she's like, I don't know why I ever stopped, but I started having all these issues start happening. And then I finally put the two together that I had stopped my LifeVantage products. And so it was that reminder of like, oh, like there were some things that did change. And when those things start coming back, then you really notice it. But we're leading the way in activation. There are thousands of supplement companies and only one activation company. There are 60,000 US consultants. A company is said to hit its max with like 6 times that. And that's if they're only open in one country. We are headquartered in Utah. We're a debt-free, publicly traded company. That's important to know, publicly traded. So the company cannot just do whatever and then you get to find out the next day. There's no like, oh, sorry, we closed. We have an enhanced compensation plan for next generation of entrepreneurs. This compensation plan, they paid $3 million to revamp the comp plan before affiliate marketing became cool. That's pretty awesome to be in that place, just knowing that there's this different way where there's going to be people that just would like to gather customers, and there's people who would like to build and lead teams. So you can do this social selling, you can do this knee to knee, you can talk to your friends, you can talk to none of your friends, but you can leverage your income. You can have an income that's coming in while you're sleeping. It's turnkey. There are no inventory or assets. The only inventory you're buying are the products you're putting in your own body. When I started, the biggest pack you could buy of products was $1,000. And I was like, there's nothing bigger. Like there are 7 of us at that time, 6 of us in our house. Like we use a lot of products. And so having that discount on the products was a big thing. And then it's culture, it's community. And when you come to an event, you'll know what I mean by those two things. This is our income disclosure statement. A lot of numbers here, a lot of busyness. I just told you that I had no idea about any of this when I started. So you don't have to know anything about this sheet, but I'm just going to have you look at this average monthly commissions at paid rank. And I just want you to glance at these numbers and I want you to see this is kind of our foundational rank. What would an extra $316 per month do for you and your family? Or how about our this at managing consultant 1 rank, the company flies you out to Utah and pours into your leadership skills, $1,700 per month. What would that do for you and your family? Or you could keep going to the executive levels of our company, $14,489 per month. What would that do for your family? So I'm asking you to think about that from your standpoint, not from mine. But I can tell you for our family, this has meant more time flexibility. It's meant a mom that shows up first as mom. And when I show up as doctor, I show up as doctor, me all in. They get all of me in both situations, but I can put my kids' schedule in first and then I put in my work schedule. I can go on a vacation without it being painful. If you own your own practice, you might know what that's like. Or if you're not even a chiropractor, it can be painful to go on a vacation. You're basically taking no pay while also spending money. But when you own your own business, you still have your overhead. You're jamming patients in before you go. You're doing it when you get back. And it's really exhausting. And now I can go and have that ease with both the time with my family and also the time away from my practice. There's also the side of like the what if, right? Like, what if something happens to me? Will my husband be able to support our family? Or what if something happens to my husband? Can I support our family? And just asking yourself those tough questions like, when I pass away, what will be left for my kids? What kind of a legacy business can I leave behind? I lost a friend that was a chiropractor, and within 30 days, her practice value would be 60% of what it was. At 90 days, it's worth 10%. 10%. And do you think that in the first 30 days after you lose someone that you really want to think about how you're going to figure out what to do with that asset they spent their life building? They're just tough questions you got to ask yourself. Like, what is your plan B? What is your way to make a big impact? For me, one-on-one in my office, I absolutely love. I can't train anybody else to do what I'm doing unless they're also a chiropractor. But in this business, I can share with Nikki how to share with somebody else, and she can share with somebody else how to share with someone else. And this ripple effect goes out in such a bigger effect. Like, I wouldn't even know most of you on this call if not for this business. So, 3 things I'd like you to think of before you leave tonight. 1, get back to whoever invited you here and tell them if you're interested in looking at the products, or 2, you're interested in looking at the business, or 3, this is not for you, but you know someone that we could help. So 1, 2, or 3, and thank you so much again for your time.